Are you sleepwalking into 2026 with the attention span of a goldfish? Or have you got a plan to fix your focus before the new year?
Because if you don't take action, the chances are you're going to spend your Christmas break replacing work stress with doom scrolling.
Fear not though, today we are going to show you how to fix your focus and reboot your brain before the bells on New Year's Eve.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Outlifting Lounge. I'm Alan.
And I'm Derek. This is the show that's all about pride, fitness, and everything in between.
In this episode, we're going to be deep diving into why your focus is broken and giving you actionable steps to help you fix your attention span.
So by the end of this show, we hope that you will know your brain a little bit better and know exactly what you need to do between now and the new year to give your brain a reset.
Right, why don't we kick off the show by looking at the problem, our shrinking attention span. And Derek, I think you've got some shocking statistics for us.
So back in 2003, the average attention span when looking at a screen was about 2.5 minutes before somebody would get distracted and look away and look at something else. So fast forward to today, and can you guess what it's gone down to from 2.5 minutes?
I don't know, I'm going to say a minute and a half?
Cut that in half.
No way.
Yeah, 47 seconds is the average attention span now when trying to focus on one screen.
That is actually shocking.
Yeah. I think we can all relate to at least one time when our attention span was less than a minute.
Yeah, I think recently it's definitely come to light more, especially over the last few years, a dopamine detox. But the name dopamine detox is a little bit misleading, don't you think?
Yes, so obviously we used it recently for a post, and I think part of the reason that we used it was it's because it's instantly recognizable by people. So there's a couple of interchangeable terms, dopamine detox or dopamine fasting, but the issue that people are having nowadays is really overstimulation. And when that happens, it affects the dopamine receptors in your brain and how they process pleasure. So it's more about dopamine regulation rather than detoxing or fasting.
I guess a good way to explain it is using a coffee analogy. See, you had a triple shot espresso every day. If you then just had like a normal shot, regular coffee, it's not going to touch the sides. And that's what we need to do with overstimulation as well. We need to be stimulated less so that the normal stuff in life feels good again.
When you were talking about triple espressos, I was thinking about our friend David.
It was a
He has a very high tolerance for caffeine.
yeah. You can tell when he's had too much coffee because he sends his messages as one sentence at a time.
Sometimes one word at a time. So yeah, like the way coffee is a stimulant and your body can get used to it as well. We are surrounded by stimulation.
I'm going to hit you with a statistic as well. I don't know the exact number, but I think it's around 10,000 images a day. And we are subject to that every single day of our lives. So think about that as overstimulation as well.
That's crazy. Modern life is pretty crazy though, because if you think like maybe even a few hundred years ago, the number of people that you would have seen in your lifetime is probably what somebody who lives in a city would see every single day now. It's just constant mental stimulation. And when you add on to that advertisements and the way shops are designed and just the way everything is designed around you, everything is meant to trigger your senses and stimulate your brain.
But nowadays it's just like white noise to us. We don't actually realize that that's happening, which is the scary thing, which is what we're talking about.
I bet if I was to put a surveillance camera on you 24/7 and then play it back, the amount of times that you touch or look at your phone is probably going to be way more than you think it is.
Yeah.
I think you're really going to underestimate that.
I'm sure there's a feature on iPhones that tells you how many times you pick up your phone.
Yeah, there is. Your phone is essentially a slot machine in your pocket. It's so addictive. Everything's geared up to be addictive. Even the way, if you look at the way your notifications are displayed on apps, they're always bright red. And that color signifies danger, it signifies alarm, and it's to get your attention straight away.
Yeah, I think within our community, there's no better example than that, than Grindr, Scruff, apps like that. It's how they're actually designed because you're checking it for a message, for example. That's the reward, the dopamine hit that you're getting. And I actually heard someone say once that every time you open up Grindr, it's like going to the fridge when you're hungry and opening the door and expecting something different to be there. And it doesn't happen sometimes, and
No,
that's
sometimes you open it up and there's just something that's been in there for weeks.
exactly rotten.
Looking a bit off.
But that's it. Every time you open it, you're hoping for something different or that kind of instant gratification, that hit.
And it can create this kind of really toxic validation loop as well, because you want to feel desired, you want to feel liked and needed. People will experience this. You open up Grindr in a new city and it's just like notification central. And that there is an excitement and a thrill to that.
I miss those days.
You don't. It's not really healthy because it feeds something that can never be satiated. You're always going to want more, more, more.
Yeah, I think for gay men as well, it's not just about the distraction, it's also about that validation, like you said, and the phantom buzz. Like, how many times have, when you were single, just gonna throw that out there, have you had your phone in your pocket and you've maybe thought that you felt the buzz? Or I'm sure there's been times where I've thought I've heard the Grindr notification.
Bloop.
Hang on, I didn't get my phone. When is it? Oh, hi, it's recording.
It reminds me of that time when we were down on the beach on the 11th of
Oh,
November for
yeah.
the big party that happens every year. And our pal Craig had his very loud speaker. And randomly through the day, we kept playing the Grinder tone through it, and everybody kept reaching for their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, whether it is your phone, whether it's like advertisements, TV, notifications, constant pings from emails, whatever it is really difficult in the modern day to switch off and avoid this stimulation, but it's really important to do it. And I think we're getting to the point of today's show, which is let's use the Christmas break to put in place a few simple measures that we can all do that will kind of start breaking this cycle a little bit, so that by the time 2026 comes around, you are a little less stimulated and your brain is a little calmer, so that you can approach the new year ready to really tackle it, ready to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, the tips we're going to give are super simple. We're not saying that they're going to be easy because we know how people feel about the phones and the attachment to them, but there's some absolute gems in here that I think people can take away.
Yeah, these are really simple, really actionable tips that you can just put in place really easily.
Yeah. Why don't we start with the first one?
So we're going to start off with the foundations. So it's really about how you start your day, and this boils down to making your bedroom into a bit of a sanctuary. I know that I can be guilty of this, and it does affect how my focus is the rest of that day. But checking your phone first thing in the morning, looking at your phone, checking messages, it's not good.
The bedroom should be for two things: sleeping and sex.
Sleeping, sex, no scrolling. So ideally, your phone should not be in your bedroom. And that's what we're going to advocate for as our first step in this series of tips. So over the Christmas week, no phone. You probably don't need your alarm over Christmas week anyway, but if you do,
Let's go back in time. Old fashioned alarm clock.
that's your alarm clock impression.
Yes. Apparently, we're doing impressions today.
So we've had my Grinder impression.
My alarm clock.
You don't even need an old timey alarm clock. Just any alarm clock will do. You can buy a cheap one, and that eliminates the reason for bringing your phone into your bedroom, because really you use that as an excuse.
100%. We've got clients that are terrible doom scrollers, and that's what I talk to them quite often about on check-ins. Oh, I'm knackered, I'm tired. What time are you getting to sleep at? Like, oh, I'll go to my bed at X time. Yeah, that's not what I asked you. What time are you getting to sleep at? Well, I get to sleep at this time because I'm on my phone and I'm doing this. There's no need to have your phone in the bedroom when you go to bed at night.
We've done quite well recently, so we have replaced touching our phones in the bedroom last thing at night with
Touching something else.
touching our Kindles, Alan.
Oh, is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah. We've been quite good at reading. You bought a Kindle not that long ago, and we'll read.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of screen. It's e-ink rather than an LED or an LCD screen. There's no blue light. It's really easy on the eye and a bit like myself.
We're very
So
humble.
very easy to read, and you don't get the negative effects that you would have with your phone.
Like we said earlier, it's simple and actionable, but we know that it won't be easy to do it. So try it for the Christmas week and just see how you go on.
Yeah, and if anybody is looking for a recommendation for an alarm clock, Alan's going to hate this because I had one when we lived in Glasgow, but I felt it was really good for this time of the year. A sunrise simulation alarm clock. And the way it works is you've got like, it's almost like a small ring light in the alarm clock, and it starts a half an hour before you need to wake up. It lights up very dimly, and then over that half hour, it gradually gets brighter and brighter. So it's
It's like the fucking sun is in the bedroom.
well, I like that. It wakes me up naturally rather than getting jolted awake. You are woken up gradually, gently, like somebody's just rocking you. Wake up, little lamb.
I was rocking his turn that fucking alarm off. To be fair, that is a good tip, especially at this time of year in the Northern Hemisphere when it's pitch black at 8:30 in the morning. So yeah, no, it's a good tip.
Yeah, it's not going to be for everybody, but for some listeners, it might be exactly what they want. So, the second tip or step that we want to kind of press home today is more about like emptying all of the mental clutter out of your brain that you have carried into this part of the year. So, what we want people to do is to sit down for maybe 20 minutes with old fashioned pen and paper and do a brain dump.
Yeah, it's a brilliant way of just getting all that clutter out of your head. And we quite often actually recommend this to clients who are having trouble sleeping at night as well and doing it every night, just dumping the day and getting it down. But definitely the end of the year is a brilliant time to do it as well.
And we're not talking about making a to-do list.
No.
That's not what this is about. It's about just anything, any thoughts in your head, any worries that you have, perhaps going into the new year. Maybe there are going to be some things that you need to do or you want to do, or hopes and aspirations that you have. Anything that is rattling about your brain, because your brain is not a storage device. Just dump it all on a page.
The good thing about that is once you've got it down on pen and paper, you can have a look at it and think, right, out of this, what can I actually just let go?
Yeah, definitely.
And that frees up even more space in your brain as well, because you don't have to think about it anymore. And then you can focus on the things that are most important to you.
Absolutely. The other good thing about that approach is that hopefully, when you've done that, you will have a few things in there that you can turn into New Year's resolutions.
I'm just about to have a RuPaul moment. That is a perfect opportunity for us to talk about our New Year's workshop that's happening.
It's almost like I did that on purpose. We have got a New Year's workshop coming up, and we just want to take 60 seconds out to let you know about it because this is something for you. It's going to be totally free. It's something that we are giving to you as loyal viewers and listeners of the show. So, in the new year, we are going to be running a New Year's resolution workshop. So, that will be a free webinar at the start of January. You will get a really comprehensive workbook with that as well. And together as a group, we are going to go through the process of setting really effective goals and action plans based on our resolutions. Then, throughout the month of January, either Alan or I will check in with you on a weekly basis to see how you're doing, see if you need some pointers or support. And then at the end of January again, we'll all meet up on a video chat and we'll see how we've got on and discuss the next steps forward. This is the ultimate way for you to kickstart 2026 and make it your year with resolutions that stick. So, if you are interested, and hopefully you are, you can join the waiting list for that, and we will email you out to let you know when the registration goes live. So, we will put a link in the show notes or in the description to that. So, make sure you go down, don't waste time, click that, get registered now, and we will send you out details very soon. Let's get back to the show though, Alan.
Okay, so the next tip to fix our focus is actually reclaiming boredom, because boredom is actually where the magic happens. Now, think about it. If you are standing in a queue in a supermarket or an ad break comes on TV, what's the first thing that we do?
Pull out our phone.
Exactly.
Maybe subconsciously, people think about boredom like it's some sort of disease, like it's a bad thing that has to be avoided at all costs, like they can't be alone with their own thoughts. But that's not the way our brains are built. Our brains are built to need boredom.
So the science behind that actually is that when we're bored, our brain shifts into the default mode network, which is really crucial for things like creativity and planning.
A term like default mode network won't mean much to some people, but what I want people to think of it as is when you're daydreaming, when your mind's wandering, when you're not really doing very much, that's the default mode network.
And if you're a Pisces like me, you do that quite often without thinking about it.
Yeah. Or if you've got ADHD like me and you're left unstimulated, that's all I'm going to do.
The opposite of the default mode network is when you are right stuck in the middle of a task. So think about working out, writing a really important work email, or driving. And we know from research that there's certain parts of your brain that just light up when you zone out the outside world and just let your brain do its thing.
Yeah. Your brain is just like any other part of your body. It needs regular rest and recovery. When you go to the gym to work out your muscles, you do your set and then you have some rest before you do your next set. That is quite a good analogy as well because you need to let the muscle rest before you're ready to take on that next task. And the problem is in modern day, a lot of people are not resting their brain. They are just like full steam ahead and eventually they hit burnout.
And taking it back to everyday tasks as well, every time you pick up your phone, that's you shifting your brain into the active mode, and it's taking it away from the downtime that your brain needs.
Yeah. Think about the times when you don't have your phone on you. I have had some of my best ideas in the shower when I don't really have that stimulation. I'm relaxed. I've got the water on me. I'm nice and warm and I have great ideas because my brain has gone into that default mode network.
So the tip here that we're giving you is try something called strategic boredom. So it's about doing single tasks. So if it's cooking some dinner or folding the washing, actually just focus on that task, and then it allows your mind to shift into that creativity side that it's yearning for.
And that it's really easy to implement over the Christmas break. Just don't have your phone on you. Focus on one thing. Be mindful about what you're doing, whether it's cooking, whether it's cleaning, whether it's folding clothes, whatever it is. Let yourself just be in the moment.
Brilliant. So we're reclaiming boredom. So the next step on fixing our focus is dumbing down our smartphone.
So, what we're advocating for is specific measures to make your phone less distracting, less stimulating, so that when you go into the new year, you are less inclined to touch it 5,000 times a day.
Still talking about the phone here, yeah. So, for example, 8 p.m., my phone goes on to do not disturb automatically. So, I get no notifications apart from certain people that I've set up that their notifications come through.
Am I on the
You're
list?
one of them, don't worry.
Special.
Like my dad, best friends, people that maybe need to get in contact with us for an emergency. Anything other than that just doesn't get through to me.
And that's a really good tip. So, do a notification audit on your phone. You can go into your settings, check which apps are allowed to send you notifications. It is a good idea to switch off the non essential or the non human notifications. So keep on your messages, your WhatsApps, whatever it is, so that you're getting your messages from people. But the apps on your phone that you have installed and enabled notifications for, and those apps that you just blank out now or swipe off, actually go in and disable those notifications so that there is less noise in your life.
Yeah. Another thing I've got set up on my phone as well is it limits the amount of time that I spend on social media. So to help me with that, I set up a time limit. It gives me 2 hours a day on Instagram and on Facebook. It's just a really good way of focusing your brain to say, actually, I've been on here for quite a big period of the day. So even if you do say, oh, ignore the limit for the day, at least you're bringing awareness to the fact of how much time you're spending on it. And then the next time it pops up, you might think, actually, yeah, I've had enough of that today.
That's really good. It's a very useful feature. I also use it. And one of the ways that I use it is for specific websites that I might go to a little too often to check news, things like that. So I have got those set up with a time limit of 0. So I'm not allowed on them. And it means that as soon as I go to that site, I get the pop up saying time limit met. And what that does is create a pause. It makes me stop to second guess myself and think, do I actually want to go on this website? And surprisingly, that really works for me. So quite a lot of the time I'll say, "Oh, I've got myself on," just as a reflex action, go into a website or something. So it really does work.
Another really good thing that you do and I don't do it is having your phone on grayscale.
I have got it set up as a shortcut on my phone, and there is a button on my control center on my iPhone where I can turn it on and off manually. But the shortcut every morning turns my phone onto grayscale mode. So when I pick up my phone, the first time I pick up my phone in the day, there's no color whatsoever. And it's amazing what that does because suddenly this hyperstimulation machine that goes in your pocket is significantly less stimulating when you look at it.
It's a brilliant tip. I notice in the mornings in the living room when our phones are sitting next to each other, my phone is definitely looking a bit more appealing because it's in full color, whereas yours is in grayscale. It's a really good tip.
And, I don't keep it on grayscale all day. So once the morning part of my day is over, I manually disable it and the phone goes back to color. It actually has a very beneficial effect for me and I would recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I might actually try that over the Christmas break as well.
Good, I'll hold you to that. What we also want people to do over the Christmas break, and what I personally am going to do too, is to ruthlessly reorganize your phone. And what that's going to look like is getting rid of the apps that you don't really use that are just cluttering up your screen. The apps that you actually need to keep but you don't use that often, stuffing them in a folder, having them where you don't see them. The apps that you know are not good for you and you maybe should give up, be ruthless, delete them.
Think about it like clearing out your wardrobe. You know, when you have a wardrobe clear out and you're like, oh, I might wear it, I might not wear it. And then you're just like, no, get rid of it. It's the same with the apps as well. I might use it, I might not use it. If you haven't been in that app in the past 2 weeks, get rid of it.
Yeah, definitely. You don't need it. Don't need it in your life. Get rid.
And another thing that we're advocating, and it's kind of like the keep the phone out of the bedroom, is keep it out of sight. And I actually do this on a Friday night when you're out collecting with Checkpoint. I keep it in the kitchen so that I can watch my murder mysteries without any interruptions.
Yes, your nice soothing murder mysteries.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And do you know what? Like our kitchen worktop isn't actually that far from our couch, but the fact that it's there and it's out of reach, it really, really works.
Yeah, it does work, and I don't charge my phone overnight, and part of the reason I don't is because I don't really like leaving it plugged in, but when I get up in the morning and come down and check my phone, it's normally on less than 20%. So it means that I need to charge my phone first thing. So I plug it in the kitchen, leave it charging, and I go and sit on the sofa. And again, it's that barrier. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
I need to get up to get my phone. It's not just beside me, and it stops me from using it.
Yeah, it's so simple, but so effective as well.
Yeah. So I think we have covered quite a few tips with the phone. I think that's enough for anybody to get on with over the Christmas break. There are lots of other ways that you can do this. There's lots of other resources out there. But for now, let's leave that and then move on to our next step on the fix your focus journey.
So yeah, the next tip is about focus being physical, and we're not going to dwell on this too much because we'll end up repeating a lot of the things we've been saying over the past few weeks. But exercise is so important for your focus.
So I've got these pillars in my life, which are eat, sleep, hydrate, move. And if any one of those falls out of whack, the others seem to go as well. But it really is exercise and sleep are the two most important of those. And of those, I think exercise is the one that underpins everything. So I notice if I have not been able to exercise, whether I have been injured or whether I'm just really busy and I've had to forgo exercise for a day or two, the proper exercise, I notice that my focus just goes really significantly, and I feel that, but when my body is moving, it's so much better.
And do you know what? I really see that difference in you as well. And over the Christmas period, we're not talking about hitting a 2 hour gym session. Something like a 10-15 minute hit workout is going to really help you bring that focus back.
Yeah, it's a really good brain booster, and touching on what we said last week in our episode with the Christmas tips, it's something that you can do really easily as well. You can have a quick workout in a bedroom with resistance bands and go out for a brisk walk or a jog. It doesn't need to be something super intense.
Another thing, and you've touched on it already for you specifically, is sleep as well. And we've touched on this before, so we're going to go into a little bit more detail about why sleep is so important.
Sleep's important for lots of different reasons, but one of the big ones when it comes to mental focus and clarity and really just staying sharp is the glymphatic system in your brain, which is like the waste system essentially. So that is what flushes out all of the bad stuff and moves things like nutrients around in your brain to keep it regulated. So that is super, super, super active when you are asleep. It's much less active when you're awake. So again, sleep, it all comes back to sleep. It's so important.
And I think people really do underestimate how important sleep is. And hopefully, from these tips that we're saying, people are starting to realize just how important it is.
Once you have that nailed and you've got a good sleep pattern and you are feeling very rested, you're able, so much better able to tackle so many other aspects of your life.
Yeah. A top tip as well is about auditing your bedroom. So it's things like eye masks, like heavy curtains, bedding, and I use them, loop earplugs. And we're not plugging them, pardon the pun. You know what to say, get them, but they definitely help me with my sleep. Also, and this is something that I really miss, but having a bath, because we don't have a bath here, before bed is really good. Some Epsom salt, some lavender bubble bath, and that'll just help you sleep even better.
Yes, really, really important to protect sleep. That's a big one for me. But as well as that, it doesn't just have to be sleep because there is research to show that going into a, a state of deep rest. So recently it's been called non-sleep deep rest, and that really is just like a modern day reinterpretation or rebranding of something that's quite ancient, which is a yoga nidra. And that is essentially like meditating, putting your brain into a state of deep calm. You can do that yourself, or you can listen to some guided meditations. And like I said, there's research to show that 20 minutes of doing that can be really beneficial for your brain and it can give you some of the benefits of sleep. So if you have had a bad night's sleep, you are a bit sleep deprived, doing that can help a little bit to offset some of the negatives.
And it doesn't even have to be long sessions either. When we taught body balance in Glasgow, we used to do meditation at the end, and it was maybe between like 5 and 10 minutes, let's say. How many times at the end of the meditation, people were like, I nodded off there, you know, and they felt amazing after it because they just had that short space of time where they could just completely switch off.
It's about giving yourself permission to do that. When people came to that class, they were doing their yoga moves and everything else. And it was just that little 5 to 10 minute block at the end of the class. We gave them permission to just switch off. The lights went down and it was quite magical
Yeah.
because you could see people when they left the room, sometimes they were floating out. They were just so like relaxed and chilled because they felt like they'd had a good night's sleep after 10
Yeah,
minutes.
and it actually used to take them quite a while to leave the class because they were just so like, "Oh my god, the am I?" You know?
Yeah.
And also, they didn't really want to step back out into reality either because they were enjoying that moment for themselves. And a lot of the times during the meditation, we would speak about that, wouldn't we? Like, give yourself permission to relax. This is your time. Don't feel guilty about it. You deserve it. And yeah, it was really magical.
And it's amazing how quickly somebody can change their mental state. Just like that,
Yeah.
their mental state can change. And we lose sight of that from day to day when we are busy, when we're stressed. Actually, sometimes 10 minutes is all it takes to just change how you're feeling.
Maybe we need to start doing some guided meditation sessions as part of the channel because somebody did say a few weeks ago that we've got voices that people could fall asleep to.
Okay, maybe we'll look into that in the new year. So, shall we wrap up then? I think that's all of our tips covered.
So we hope you've enjoyed those tips and we really do hope there's been something that you find in there that you can action something really easy, something really simple you can implement over the Christmas period that is going to make you fix your focus.
Go buy the alarm clock. That's step one. Buy your alarm clock, phone out the room, and then tackle everything else. As always, thank you very much for tuning into the show. Remember, Outlifting Lounge is just part of what we do. Alan and I run Outlifting, which is a personal training and online fitness coaching service for gay, bi, and trans men who want to change their bodies and build unstoppable confidence. And our service is available globally. If that kind of thing interests you, we can arrange a free video call. It's absolutely no obligation, and you can see if our service is a good fit for you. So please visit our website. It is outlift.ing, and there is a button on there to book your free discovery call. It'll bring you to a calendar where you can pick your date and time, and that's it. Really super simple.
And are you following us on social media? If not, why not? You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at outlift.ing.
Remember that offer as well. We are going to be launching the New Year's resolution workshop in the new year. So make sure you check the link in the show notes or the description to get booked onto our waiting list, and we will let you know as soon as we are taking registrations.
And don't forget, we have new episodes every Sunday, and you can catch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music.
So make sure you are subscribed to keep up with the conversation.
But for now, over and outlifting.